And y'all don't know what I went through.
Do you have a cart in your hands right now?
Nike Talk was that place that spiraled what you enjoy now.
Anyone who brought a Kobe shoe in, I would clean it for free.
Man, Melo was better than a lot of people in the league.
I saw that. My favorite jersey's that one, the Barkley.
Kobe fours.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 37. This is the Dandon and RJ Machismo podcast. This is Dandon. My co-host RJ won't be here today. So tonight we got a special guest. We got the homie Varian David. He is known as KickswithVee, and he also has his KickswithVee hot sauce brand. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Hey, man. First and foremost, just a little bit of background. Me and Varian, I guess we met through the Sneaker History Discord, right? So we're definitely gonna touch more into that. It's a great sneaker community. So we're just gonna start off a little icebreaker, Varian. So tell us more about yourself.
I don't know where should I start. I'm up here in Oakland, California. Been here for about 20 years now. So I guess I'm considered local, I suppose. Sneaker enthusiast, been that way since I was a kid. Not exactly sure how I got into appreciating sneakers and whatnot, but I'm known for the longest time. It's I just love sneakers. Like, it doesn't matter what brand, especially as a kid, as a baby or whatever, didn't matter what brand it was. If I got a new pair of sneakers, I was super happy. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. So, and it just kind of just stayed with me until now. Now it's just a bad habit.
I wouldn't say it's a bad habit. I say it's an exquisite hobby.
Right? Yeah. So it's cool though. Good. But for me, it's I'm a sneaker tech nerd. It's what I like to call myself, because I just like to learn about how things function and why certain materials are chosen for this function, or why did they go with this in this direction, and why does certain type of foams work a certain way, or that sort of thing. Even as a kid, after I was done with my sneakers, I would cut them up and just kind of see the inside, but never really clicked with with what people are doing today with regards to restorations, or just slowly taking them apart and just keeping them intact and whatnot. I wish I thought about that or knew about that sort of thing when I was way younger.
Wow, that's dope. So you actually cut the sneaker to look at the technology? Is that what you do?
Yeah, my best example I can give you is my Zoom Flight 96s. I ran those to the ground when I was young. I was play ball or whatever. The outsole was completely worn down. You can actually see the Zoom bag. That's how worn it was. And I would take remember back in the day they had shoe goo?
Yep. So
I'd take the shoe goo, kind of try to replace the outsole or whatever. It never worked, man. One game it was gone.
Yeah.
But I wore those till I couldn't wear them anymore. And then, I took a blade, trying to cut the midsole up, trying to take the full length Zoom out and everything.
That's dope. So which ones did you have? You had the Olympic Zoom flies, or is it?
No, I had the black with the it's the electric blue outsole. I wanted the Olympic ones. So funny story, you mentioned it's funny that you mentioned the Olympic one. So I was in Hong Kong with my cousin. I was there for 3 days because my mom won some radio contest, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to go?" And this was right before the handover. So it was before 96. Before 97. So it was 96. So the Olympics and everything was going on. So I was in Hong Kong. I was in one of these stores, and I saw the Air More Up Tempos, the Olympic editions with number 8 for Pippen, and I saw the 6 for Penny on the Zoom. I wanted both of them, but I couldn't afford it, so I had to choose between the two. And since I'm a Bulls fan, and Pippen's my guy, so I was like, all right, you know what? Let me go with this. But like I've always wanted the Zoom 96 Olympic editions just because they're so fucking. Sorry if I cuss. Can I cuss on this thing?
It's cool, man.
Okay, my bad. But yeah, they're just hot to me. I love that shoe. It's super comfortable too.
Have you owned like the retros, like in the
Nah.
recent retros that came out?
Haven't had a chance.
Oh man.
Yeah, haven't had a chance. But like, I had the original, so
Yeah.
it's like, it's at least it's not like I'm missing out or anything like that. You know what I mean?
You're not missing out. I mean, they came out in the outlets, like nobody wanted them. Remember they had the cool gray colorway ones.
Those are fucking hot, man. I love that colorway. It's so fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a hot colorway. Like especially when it first came out and I saw the gradient of the gray, I was like, dude, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I couldn't get those back in the day, but I ended up with the black with the white midsole and the blue outsole.
Nice. So did you wear it? I mean, because I know when you were a kid, when you got something, you hooped in them. You did it for like multi-purpose, like you did it for
yeah.
hooping,
I
going to school.
I wasn't rich. Like, my parents are teachers, so it's like, I wore those for everything. Going out, hooping, whatever, man. Like, it's like spring stuff in there so it doesn't stink. Cleaning them like every weekend and stuff, like, make them look fresh. Like, I did what I needed to do.
So what was it like hooping in the Air More Up tempos?
They're heavy. Well, so I tried. So I only shot around with them. I didn't really like play a game in them.
Play a game, okay.
But just like, just shooting around and whatever, like, like by myself, it was like, at the neighborhood court, I was just shooting around, wore my Air Moors. And that shoe made me realize, like, I'm not an Air Max person when it comes to playing in.
Yeah.
Like, I like low profile, lightweight, that's what it matches my game at the time.
Yeah.
So it was just way too heavy for me. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. So, hey, at least it's it made me realize like, hey, okay, well, these kind of shoes are better suited for me and my game rather than these, even though I really like them a lot. I can just wear them, like casually.
Yeah. All right, Varian. So next question for you. So how did you get into sneakers?
Honestly, I can't answer that question, or at least I can't give the typical answer that most people give, like, oh, this shoe or whatever. I've always been into sneakers since I was a kid. Like, I have a picture of being that I think I was maybe 3 and, wearing baby shoes, but I'm like trying to like eat the shoe and stuff. It's kind of weird. But ever since I was a kid, like, when my mom would like buy us new sneakers, even though it was like, bargain stuff or whatever, right? As long as it was a fresh pair of sneakers, like brand new, I was super excited. I freaking loved it. I got my first pair of high tops back in the day. My mom got them on sale or whatever, but like I loved them so much, I used to sleep with them.
What?
Yeah. And then when so my parents would tell me like, hey, like when I saw the Jordan 5, that was the first, or at least the Jordan 5 with the 3M tongue.
Okay, the black metallics.
Yeah. Well, no, the white, white and red. Yeah. So when I saw those, I was like, whoa, this is a crazy looking shoe, especially with the the clear outsole, and I just fell in love with it, right?
Yeah.
But my parents couldn't afford it, and I wanted those shoes, right? And so like just to kind of get that out of my system, I would draw it, as a kid. And in school, we got like wood shop, so I made a pencil holder with the Jordan 5.
Crazy.
It was kind of cool. But then it was like some family function, and I noticed on my mom's side, like one of my cousins had the fire red 4s. I was like, yo, it's so cool. Like, and it had the Jordan, the Jumpman logo with the flight and everything. And I was like, and I recognized it. and connected it to the 5. I was like, well, that's not the same shoe, but I didn't know at the time it was kind of serialized. You know what I mean? And that was like the first shoe that really did something like that, where it's like every year was a brand new model, but it still stayed within the same line. So when the 6 came out, a friend of mine, had them. He had the black and infrared, and those were just like crazy. I was like, whoa, those are hot. And I saved enough money with Chinese New Year, red packet money and everything like that. I wanted to go buy them. Couldn't get the black and infrareds. Ended up getting the Carmines.
Oh,
but here's the kicker. At the time, I personally didn't see MJ wearing them. But so I was like, these are cool, but at the same time, like, it was so different that I was like, and mind you, I was 14 at the time, so I'm an idiot. And I was like, I returned them and swapped them for an all white pair with the blue.
Oh,
all right?
the white university blue, the college blue. Yeah.
And so it's like okay, and that now I'm like, 30 years later, I'm kicking my ass, right? I'm like, oh man, I should just kept them.
Yeah.
But had them. So those were my first pair of Nikes and my first pair of Jordans, and I used my own money to buy them. And then kind of fell in love with the line ever since. But I wore those shoes till they literally like died. Was on a family vacation in Australia, and the outsole split, like the rubber literally split.
Wow.
Because it was so worn down.
Yeah.
And I took super glue and glued them back together.
Oh my god!
And just walked in them a few times, and it worked. So I just kept wearing them till I couldn't wear them no more. And as a kid, my feet would grow. My feet was growing super fast.
Yeah.
I was like maybe 5'3", 90 pounds, and I was like a size 8 men's when I was 8 years old.
What?
Yeah, I had like big ass feet. So my Jordan 6s were 9 at the time.
Yeah.
And my feet was just like growing. I couldn't wear them at some point, like after like a year and a half or whatever. And then I got into, the manga Slam Dunk.
Yep.
So I started wearing my 6s with no socks, because that's the only way I could wear them.
Yeah.
I would go play ball like that as well.
That's crazy.
But then after that, I would just like every year I would just save up money to try and get like the next Jordan. So I went from the 6, I skipped the 7 and went straight to the 8, got the 9, kind of skipped the 10. Well, actually I skipped the 10 because I wanted the Air Up.
Good choice.
I love those shoes so much. Like Nike needs to bring back a legit proper retro of the Air Up, and I would buy them. Like, those are awesome, man. Like back in the day, like with just full tech, like front, 4-foot Air, heel Air, and just like it. I loved. I played in them. I ran those to the ground also. Like most of my shoes I owned back in the day, like I played basketball and I wore them everywhere I went, just because those were my like one shoes for the year or however long I had them for.
Damn, Air Ups are nice, man. Cause like back in like the NBA, all like the cool NBA players wore them, right? Like Jawan Howard, Vin Baker, Dennis Rodman,
Penny Hardaway, man. Yeah, exactly. See, I want the play edition for the Air Ups for Scottie Pippen. Like the white with the silver with the 33. I'm in. I want those. I really want those. Oh, you're talking about
the Penny Hardaway ones? Yeah, the Air Way Ups, the Way Ups.
No, the Air Ups.
Oh, Air Ups. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Penny wore the Air Ups, but I had those like the white and black.
Yeah, I got those.
Yeah, with the blue swoosh.
Yeah.
The retro. I want the Pippen. Those were garbage though. The retros were horrible.
Yeah, they were.
They were like straight plastic and just nonsense. They used like a Vectec thing to kind of like do I'm like, nah, that's not cool, man. That's not cool that it did the shoe so dirty like that. It was one of the best shoes ever.
It was. You know what? Like I got mine at the outlet a long time ago. It was a time where sneakers just like sat at the outlet, right? So they were like $29.99. So
Yeah.
I got them. Oh, yeah, I remember like Penny wearing these. But yeah, definitely, remember seeing Pippin wearing them. They were sick.
Yeah, man.
Like you're
His were
saying.
like white, and then the black parts were
Yeah,
silver,
yeah. There's a
and
silver
then with the
like with a silver tab, yeah, in the back.
yep, and it had a red swoosh, and then had a 33. I'm like, I want those. I really, really want those. Those are awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I never owned the originals before, but come to think about it, yeah, they are kind of cheap. It feels cheap because it's like plastic,
Right.
and the material, like leather, is like leather, like it's very, it's
Nike
not,
did those shoes so
yeah,
wrong, man. So wrong.
yeah. They definitely cut, quality, and the execution it's no good. Even it's like the air unit is so small too. The
Yeah.
airbag, it's so
Yeah.
small. It's like this small, dude. Very small.
Yeah. Yeah. Those were like, I couldn't get the red. I saw them at the outlets too. I was like, should I? And I'm like, nah, it was so garbage. So I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
As much as I love the shoes, I couldn't do it.
If it was a Pippin shoe, I'm sure you would have copped it, right? For that price, or no, you would have passed it.
They were that bad. I don't think I would have.
Oh,
They were that bad. I don't think I could bring myself
really,
to it.
it really
So I own
bothered
the
you that
original. I
much.
know what they are like. Like, I'm like, nah, there's no way. I can't.
Yeah,
No way.
yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you. Certain sneaker collectors, they're very they're very selective, making sure that it's almost close to the original. So I mean that's just Nike quality for you. As much as we want the closest product possible from what we grew up before, it's sad to say we'll never get that, or hopefully
But
they
I
can get
mean,
close to it.
so for me, it's like it doesn't have to be exact, right?
Hmm.
Or at least specifically for the era. Like they tweaked it so much that it just wasn't the same shoe.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like never mind the materials. It doesn't have to be leather. It can be synthetic leather. It's all good. But it's like, I mean, I think the era originals was synthetic anyway,
Yeah.
with nubuck and everything like that. But like they did it in a way where it looked more like a foam posit
Yeah.
than anything else.
That thing was
I was
bulky.
like, yeah, I was like, nah, just it's not right, man. It was like straight vinyl
Yeah.
and just like I'm like, nah, I can't do it.
Nah, it's all right. I mean, hopefully down the road, they'll, with the recent retros that's going on, hopefully they'll come out next year. All right. So next question for you, Varian. So, by looking through your posts on Instagram, you have a wide variety of sneakers. So you got Jordans that you were talking about. You have Nike basketball. You have Nike runners. You even got foam posits. So, how important are having variety sneakers to choose from?
For me, it's important to me. But so to also clarify, like I'm self-admittedly, I don't hide the fact that I'm a Nike head, right? Nike and Jordan head. So a lot of my sneakers are Nikes and Jordans, but it's not limited to a specific category. So it's not just like basketball, whatever. Like you mentioned, if it's Nike, like I want to learn the entire product line from any category. So be it running, be it training, be it, especially back in the day with ACG, like I want to check out the new stuff and kind of experience it and and just enjoy the product itself also, you know what I mean? Because like I mentioned prior, like I'm a sneaker tech nut, so I just really want to see how these work and how they feel and how it's constructed and all that. So like yeah, I do own a variety of sneakers and they kind of range throughout the category essentially. And it's like I'm an old school sneakerhead, man. Like I don't I'm yeah, I don't do it the way like people do now. You know what I mean? Like for me, it's like I start when I dress. I start with my sneakers, and I see
Yep.
what what I can match clothes wise to kind of fit with it and stuff. It's I don't just like I don't walk out of the house and look like a NASCAR driver. Let's just put it that way. All right, you know what I mean? Like I'm old school in that sense.
Yeah.
Like
Like I
I
said,
make sure I match. I make sure like the fit's looking right, and then be
yeah.
like, all right, cool. And it could be super simple,
Yeah.
monochromatic or whatever the case may be. But it's I'm not like I don't look like a NASCAR driver, basically.
You don't got a DuPont Jeff Gordon jacket with a pair of like off-white UNC ones. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yo, none of that. No Supreme bullshit, like whatever. Like that's not my style.
Yeah,
That's not me. I'm a
Yeah.
simple dude.
for sure, for sure. So like I noticed like you even collected like the the non-popular Jordan. So I seen you got the Jordan 21s. I think that's like one of the nicest shoes. Those are sick. Though yeah,
One of my
those.
favorite shoes of all time.
Oh my
These
god!
specific colorways too, the red Italian leather ones.
Wow,
These are fucking awesome. Like,
those are nice. Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Well, so like I said, like I'm an OG sneakerhead, man. Like I buy what I want. I buy what I like. It just so happens in 2021, some of the stuff that I like happens to be hyped, but it wasn't like hype back then. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can't help the fact that a Jordan 1 is like the hot item now and everybody wants one, right? Like that's not my control. Like I don't control that.
Right.
But like no, I love the Jordan 21. I love the Jordan 20.
Yeah.
I have like 3 pairs of those, like, and they're all originals too, including the stealth colorway and the SE version as well.
Whoa, there was I had the chutneys. They had the chutneys.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I had the chutneys.
Those are regional too, right?
Yeah, regional pack. Yeah, I remember they were like sitting at my finish line for like $50, and then nobody liked them. You know what I mean? Because I think
I love them. They fit so well. They play well too.
Yep,
like
they do.
And so funny story with those shoes. I get irritated when I see people not wearing the right way, especially if they're playing the game. You know what I mean? Like they just have that little like ankle part like just hanging loose where there's the tab where you can actually just like use the Velcro and secure it so you got ankle protection. And like I get irritated when I don't see people do it the right way. But that's just me.
Yeah, I even get irritated too, like when they cut off like the the part where you put it on your leg.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That
oh my
irks
god,
me,
yeah.
man. Like, why don't you just get? I said, dude, like, why don't you just get the low?
Just get the low. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You basically wasted like $80, like $100 just to make it a low. Like,
yep.
I mean, like I said, I'm who am I? That's your decision.
Actually, hold on. I think I have a pair here, if you don't mind waiting.
Yeah.
Like,
wow, those brings memories, man. Like,
sorry, I gotta put the earphones on,
bro.
But,
like,
yeah,
that brings memories.
It's an original pair.
I had me and my co-host RJ, like we had the original 20s. They were at like our local mom and pop shop for like I think $50. It was crazy. It was insane. I was like, and then now
that's worth it, man.
Yeah,
the shoes are so comfortable.
Yeah, and then I also saw that you got the 2010s, the Jordan 2010s with the window.
Yep.
Yeah, I see.
Yep.
And
it's back here.
Yep. So I've seen those. I was like, damn, man. Like, people hated them because it's like it's not really a Jordan per se, but
it's a signature line, man.
Yeah, it's technology.
The 20, it's literally this. It's a Jordan. Like it's the Jordan signature shoe.
Yep.
How is that not a Jordan?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Yeah,
I don't understand the mentality. Like I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I said, like there's different types of collectors, right? There's like the collectors where they say, oh, when Jordan retired, that's when I stopped counting Jordan numbers.
I understand that. Fair enough. Okay.
Like,
yeah, I've run into people where it's like, I only buy from 1 to 14 or 1 to whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, fine, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Like, as far as I'm concerned, like, I'm a fan of Jordan's signature line.
Mm-hmm.
And because the signature line is supposed to be the premier line, right? So they usually debut like certain technologies and whatever on that shoe. So like I want to check it out because of that. Like the 34s are one of my favorites of the newer generation shoes because it's so clean, but the tech that they put into it is amazing, and it's a beast of a performer. So
wow, that's what I've heard too.
They're great, man. If you can get them at the outlets for cheap, like I highly recommend you get them. Like I want to get the 36 because it looks so clean. I like the
Yeah.
way they look. Like I don't know why people are bugging out about it. Like I've heard some people like complain like, oh, I'm like, nah, you're an idiot. As far as I'm concerned, like they look so cool. Like it's not an overtly tribute shoe like the 35 was to the 5.
Hmm.
I like the 34 because it looked like its own shoe, but it was subtle nods to the 4.
Yeah.
And that's what the 36 has as well. Like it has those subtle nods to the 6, but it's its own shoe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like but then if you're gonna complain about that, but then complain about, oh, why is Jordan Brand not putting out original stuff anymore and just relying on old heritage stuff, then I'm like, yo, you have to make up your mind. You kind of have to pick a lane.
Yep.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
like if they give you something like the 34 and the 36 where it's completely original but has subtle nods to the past, and you're not happy with that, but then you have the 35 which has very overtly like just blatant homages to the to the 5 and other like models or whatever, and you're not happy with that, then what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Like what do you really want? You know what I mean?
They're sticklers, you know what I mean? Like, what made them cool? Like for me, of course, like us as being like NBA fans, right? You watch like star players wearing them, especially when they're Jordan Brand. So when I saw like Jason Tatum wearing the 35s in the black and Celtic colorway, and then I saw Bradley Beal wearing them like in Wizards colorway, and I saw Zion wearing them.
Right.
I was like, wow, like they pop, and then even like Rui Hachimura, they made like
I love his colorway, man. I love his logo
the Japanese
too.
one with the fluorescent. That's sick.
Yep. So the 35s, I like the lows more than the mids.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally think the 35 lows are sick.
Yeah. I think because a lot of people, and this is just my opinion, a lot of people get thrown off like with the number Jordans nowadays is because they're more they care more about the looks rather than performance. It's more looks for them because it's just they're treating it just like a casual wear. A lot of like basketball enthusiasts like you like the technology. So and technology that goes with the colorway and the base of the look of the shoe. So I think that's why a lot of people aren't really crazy about like the newest Jordans, but that's their opinion, that's their loss. It's more
It's
for
true.
us and none for them.
But it's also different today, right? Because back then, especially when Jordan was playing, like he wanted a shoe that you can wear on and off the court, right?
Yep.
You could still kind of do that today, but now there's a whole lifestyle line.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like back then, there wasn't necessarily a lifestyle division for any big brand, be it Nike, Jordan, Adidas, Puma, whatever. Like lifestyle wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
So what we wore was what we wore. That was it. But now since they have the lifestyle line, they can have the performance line and just be focused strictly on performance.
Yep.
And you have the lifestyle line to do the lifestyle thing.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I would love to just own one pair and do, on off court or whatever. But it's not gonna be like that anymore.
Yeah, it's not what it was before. Like when you see those ads, right? Like you see Mike Bibby wearing like, what is it called? The Jordan 23 Classic. Remember the threes?
Oh yeah.
I had those. I had the black and green ones. So
nice.
they were cool. Like they were just like chilling shoes for me. I mean, it's a silhouette of the Jordan 3, had the soles and everything, the silhouette.
Right.
But it's hard nowadays, right? Because they don't sell. They're just gonna just go straight to the outlet, and
that's fine by me, man. I'm not rich. Like I want I want my sneakers on a bargain. It's all good.
There you go.
Let them go to the outlets.
I mean, player priced. Yeah, definitely.
So before COVID, I would troll the outlets like crazy. So for what I do for work, back then I would do national tours, and so I would go across the country, like depending on where the tour is, and I would hit every single Nike outlet possible, just to see what they have and whatever. And so what you see behind here, these are all from outlets.
Wow.
You know, so I would just find like running shoes or ACG shoes or, you know, lifestyle shoes or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. You know, like I'd find them like in different places, you know, in most importantly in my size. Like I wear like, I guess the national average, which is a 10 and a half. So usually I would have issues finding shoes that I want in the color that I want in my size.
Mhm.
So when I do find something that I want and the color that I'm interested in, I usually snap them up.
Damn.
You know, so it's like, yeah.
So like what? So since you're towards that top, so what was like your favorite your favorite come up of all the outlets you went to?
Oh man.
You pick a couple, like maybe three.
Favorite comic. Actually, I have them right here. Hang on.
Wow.
Well, it's one of the few come-ups that I have. So I'm a big fan of the MX Plus. Like huge, I love the MX Plus, like hands down. So I found these, they're Nike Lab version of it. But I found these at one of my favorite Nike clearance stores in Iowa. And on that same day, in that same store, I found it.
What?
The literally exact like
Tuned
opposite
Air
colorway,
Max?
like, you know, like it's all. I was like, wait, in my size, and they're literally like the reverse like colorway. I'm like, yo, yes, I'm getting both of them.
That's dope.
That is by far like one of the best come ups.
How much were they, if I don't mind asking?
They were super cheap, dude. Like they were on sale. Like they were, man. I think I paid like I did $50 or $60 each.
Wow.
Yeah, and like materials are great, dude. Like, you know, a little suede and like it's one of my favorite shoes.
Wow.
And then I got a pair of and this was over by the San Leandro clearance store by my place in the Bay Area.
Okay.
It's a pair of Pegasus Turbo Shields, but they had just been released officially brand new a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I found a pair in my size at the clearance store, and I caught them for $80, and they were on sale. Like there was like a whole sale thing going on.
Yeah.
So I bought like maybe like 6 pairs of shoes, and those were one of them. And like with the discounts and everything like that, like those came up at $80. They were retailing for $200.
That's dope.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, that's a come up for sure.
Wow.
It's not like, you know, a verse one, like, you know, come up, but it's definitely a come up for me.
It's up there. Yeah. I mean, you know, brand new from the outlet, you know.
Yep.
Assuming half box, full box, it's all good. I mean, and then you got discount on top of that too.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah. I don't. Funny you mentioned like brand new. Like, yeah, I don't wear used sneakers. I can't do used sneakers. It's just not my thing. Yeah, we were talking off right before we started recording. It was like I treat my sneakers like my underwear. Like, you know, it's got to be fresh.
Yep.
The only exception I made was these right here, the Jordan 1 Alphas. Like, you know, these are a promo sample. I don't know if you can actually see the tag.
Oh, I see it. They're right there.
Yeah, it's an actual promo sample that I found on eBay. Got it for $80.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, yo, these are sick. They're comfortable as hell.
Alpha ones, man, they were underappreciated.
Absolutely even by me. Absolutely underappreciated for sure. Like super slept on.
Yep. You know why people hated them is because
they didn't look like the originals.
Yeah, there was like perforated holes on the side, right?
Yeah.
Double stack zoom. Yep. Yeah, man. Like I had those. I had the you know, Chicago colorway. I had the black and red ones.
Oh man, do you still have them?
I sold them, man. Now looking at them, like damn, like
you should have kept them.
I should have kept them.
And it was
'Cause
cool
after-
too. Like the
After the Last Dance, like yo, the Chicago colorways like went up. They were going for like $500. I was like, dude, you're crazy.
yeah,
And they were used. I couldn't find like a brand new pair. They were
Yeah.
all used, and they were going for like $500. I was
It's-
like, you're insane.
it's crazy, right? It's not even a Jordan. I mean, yeah, it's a Jordan performance shoe. It's not an original shoe. It's a performance shoe that shot up, right? It's crazy.
Yep. And D Wade wore him in a game when he was a Jordan Brand athlete.
Yep. When he was with the Heat, I
Yep.
remember. Insane, man, insane. So, so coming through with the next question for you, Varian. So, what are your top 5 sneakers that you own? If you want to, since you have your
Ooh.
sneakers in front of you,
That's a tough one. Top 5.
or any sneaker that you like, like that you like top 10 in your top.
Okay,
10.
so I don't have it in front of me, but this is one of them. Oh well, no. So let me clarify. This is the pros, right?
Yep.
The
02.
the Foamposite ones were my favorite. When I saw Penny wear them, I was like, yo, these were like, what the hell are those, right? And by far at the time, like I heard your episode with your boy RJ. It was like they were the most expensive like Nikes out there, and I couldn't afford them. But I managed to get the 20th anniversary one when it was
Royals.
released.
Yeah.
So yeah, those were like, check off the list. Like I've always wanted them. I had to wait like over 20 years to get them or something like that.
It's all
But
good.
whatever.
Yeah.
I got them, right? But when I had these are like a 99 release. I got them when I was working at Nike Town, and somebody had returned them. So they were returned. They were on sale, and then with my employee discount, I bought them for $80.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then a couple of years ago, the glue started coming out, so that I basically kind of taught myself how to do some like re-gluing and restoration. It wasn't really well done. You can see a lot of like the glue sticking
that's
out.
cool. I mean, you know what?
But
That's
it's
your
functional.
pair, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But it's one of my favorites. These two,
Oh my god.
definitely like one of my favorites.
21.
These, man, the GP ones.
Oh.
Alpha
Yeah.
Project,
Oh
one of my
God.
favorites. I love the entire Alpha Project line. So like if they retro the Alpha Project, like hands down, I would try and get every
You
single
still
one
got
of
the
them if I
original
could.
pair too, which is insane.
This is the original pair. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have
I
the
know.
retros.
Yeah.
I have the retros somewhere in my room. But yeah, this is the actual original pair
Wow.
from '99. These are one of my favorites ever.
Oh,
the
the
Air Rifts.
Rifts?
Yep.
Oh my god. Yep.
Yep, the Air Rifts, the precursor to the Nike Freeze.
No, but let me ask you this: do you have the socks, or you wear them with no socks?
No, I don't have the socks. I have these Japanese socks that are like toe socks.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah. So I wanted the socks, but at the same time, like I didn't necessarily want the socks because I'm a low pro kind of guy.
Yeah.
So the socks were more like a crew cut.
Yep. they were
Back in
cool.
the day.
Mhm.
So no, I bought these like Japanese like no show
Yeah.
like toe socks. Yeah,
'Cause they wear them
like they're great.
They wear them with the flip flops. That's why they could work for
Exactly.
Work out.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, those are one of my favorites. So I have the original black and red colorway in my storage unit. I don't have it here with me, but geez, man,
The
Tron
Tremors.
LX. Yep,
Oh my god, those are nice too.
these are one of my favorites back in the day. Couldn't get them back then when they were originally released, but when they retroed it, like I hopped on it. So I got the black and red one. Those were my favorites. And then I got these on sale for like at like Foot Locker. I can't remember how much, but yeah, the gum rubber too.
You know what's crazy about those, right, Varian? Like the original ones were recalled because the back metal, the back heel is metal.
Yeah. Yep.
And
So I
people's-
was working in Nike Town when that happened. So yeah, no,
Really?
I saw it happen. Like I seen somebody came in with so it wasn't just the LX. Every Trunner had that
Yep.
heel clip.
Mhm.
So and it was supposed to be a customizable thing. So like, it was a performance customizable type situation where to put it on and to basically fit your foot, like the clip was right here where you can just press it in to kind of mold to your heel. But it was legit metal. And I guess like, I don't know how you or what you were doing or whatever, but the clip would, because it's pointed, so it would basically like pierce through the shoe.
Yep.
And I guess somebody's like heel got clipped or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, so they started doing the recall, and then they basically replaced the clip with just a regular plastic that didn't serve the function.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that was unfortunate. Some people knew about it, kept the original shoes.
I know.
A lot. When I was working at Nike Town, I was working the customer service part of it. So my job was to deal with returns and exchanges, and I saw a lot of them come through. All the trunners, like they were returning them to get like a replaced pair or whatever. So Nike would send them a replaced pair. Like they would just drop the shoes off. I'd tag them, bag them, and then send them out.
You know what's dope about the Nike, the original, because you're OG, right? You worked in the OG Nike Towns.
Yeah, so I still call it Nike Town.
Right. So remember, like the Nike Towns, right? Like even the Nike customer service, right? So if their promise is if there's a defect in your shoe, right? Air bubble leak,
right?
Sole, like even your laces. If the laces, like lace hole doesn't work, basically you call them, you file a claim, and then you send the shoes to them, and then they give you a voucher.
Right.
So like I did that.
Well, you had a choice between a voucher or the same pair or something like that. Like,
if they have it, if they have it in stock. So like, for example, like I had the I think it was like the Air Metal Max and
okay, I remember those. Yeah.
So the bubble popped, and I called the customer service. There was no internet back in the day. And they said, "Oh yeah, fill out the form. We'll mail it to you." They mailed me the form, send me the shoe, and then, give me a box to go with it. And then couple, maybe like between 2 to 3 weeks, I get a voucher from Nike saying, "Hey, this is like you can go to any Nike Town.
Good to use, right? Yeah."
And I think that was during the time when internet was, it was already like starting up. So I actually bought something on the internet using.
Do you remember what they called them though? Those vouchers. Ooh. They had a specific name for it.
Oh man, you got me stumped. What is it?
Bowerman bucks.
Oh, what number
for Bill Bowerman? Yeah, they were called Bowerman bucks.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like an orange like like a gift certificate.
Yeah, they had a picture of Bill Bowerman too, like the Bowerman series shoes and stuff like that. It was yeah. I remember those. Yeah,
it's crazy. So you know what? I bought that towards the retro nines, they call it Space Jam 9s.
Yeah.
So I bought it. Okay. I went to a Nike Town, and then people are looking at me like, "What the hell is this?" Like, it's a voucher. It's because I guess they're like new employees. Like they didn't know like.
Oh, they probably kind of phased it out at that point or whatever. Like you just held on to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So gotcha. Like I because I was waiting for something for me that I wanted to buy or like nothing. So this is like back in 2000, was it 2002 or when the Retro 9s came out? I think about 2002.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was crazy. Like just thinking about like the voucher, the return policy. So shout out to Nike, man. So yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Continue with your favorite pairs, Varian.
So this is off the beaten path version, but these. I don't know if anybody would know them. These are the end up ones. Shout out to my boy Chris Chase, Nightwing 2303 from Wear Testers. But this is his signature shoe or his first shoe.
Yeah.
This specific colorway is my favorite. This is named after his wife, the Mrs. Wing.
Nice.
So it was it's because of her love of wine and everything like that. So the Bordeaux colorway kind of came about.
Is that a lifestyle shoe or is that a basketball shoe?
So the shoe is designed to be a performance shoe.
Okay.
But this specific version is technically a lifestyle just based on the materials used.
That's nice.
Because I have the other one to the Nightwing colorway.
Okay.
And it's complete like suede upper, and with textile and stuff. But this specific colorway is more of a lifestyle version. But dude, look at that freaking outsole, man.
He's all about he's very nitpicky. Like the thing he always nitpicks is the outsole, like the grip.
Dude, I get it. I'm the same way with him. Like, so when I first discovered him, I had discovered like YouTube back in like '05. Funny story. I quit sneakers at that time. Like, so when I was working Nike Town, after I left, I quit sneakers for like 3 years. So I missed out on the original Nike SB run of things, right? I met my boy Patrick when I was a tester at PlayStation. So we were both working on the same game, and he was a skater, but he was also a kind of sneakerhead and whatnot. So like, you know, he showed me all these like SBs. I was like, what? Like at the time, like I was completely removed. Like, you know, I would still walk in the stores, check on the new Jordans and what, you know, what have you, right? He showed me his SBs. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I'm like, what? Like, you know, it's like skate shoes, like Nike Dunk skate shoes. And then I felt the materials that they were made a lot sturdier. They were a lot thicker. You know, I was like, yo, this is crazy. And he had all the freaking colorways. Like he had the Californias, the Heinekens, like he had all of them. You know what I mean? Like I was like, yo, this is crazy. So I missed out on that wave. So I would go into skate. Yeah, I would go into skate shops, and you know, they didn't have anything else. Like, you know what I mean? So I was like, all right, you know, I totally missed out on it, whatever. But because of him, he dragged me back into sneakers.
That's a real friend.
And so then I discovered YouTube, and at the time, like the World Cup was going on, and I started buying all these like I love Air Force One lows too. I agree with DJ Clark Kent. They are like the best lifestyle shoes ever made. Period. Like silhouette. That and, you know, Jordan 1 lows, like period. Like they go with almost anything and everything. But so I have like the Brazil, like, you know, like Air Force One premium, like you know, the World Cup ones and stuff. Yeah, from back in the day.
That's dope.
And I have a whole bunch of different Air Force Ones that I have in my storage unit, like the first original Chinese New Year Air Force Ones. That it was the first pair that they ever made for that sort of thing, and it happened to be the year of the horse, and I'm a year of the horse, so I was like, I need to get them. You know what I mean? So I was like, I need to get them. Yeah. So super simple. It's just an all white upper, red swoosh, red tab, but it has the horse in like you know, traditional Chinese character.
Yeah.
You know, super simple. Like now it's a little bit different, right? But yeah, I have those, and yeah, but yeah, I wish I brought them out. I totally forgot. But like,
cool.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to show you these also. One of my favorites. So Liz Beecroft, In My Feels, you know, React 270s, because like she's you know, a therapist. But then when she did that collab with Nike, like, you know, she was able to do like her own colorway, and this like they debuted this like squiggly like swoosh on the that option wasn't available at the time. Like, so this was the first shoe that actually had it.
Wow.
Yeah. And so this one is kind of weird, right? So I'm gonna show it to you first. White on white Air Force One. Reason why I have to actually, I probably, you know, can unwrap it and show it to you, but this is actually a Supreme Air Force One 25th anniversary of the Air Force One. So like the materials are super premium. It's got a premium tag in it, if you can see it. You know what? I'm just gonna take out the plastic and show it to you. But yeah, that's fine. I can rewrap it. But this is the certificate of authenticity. And if you see, I don't know if you can see it, you can see the silhouette of the Air Force One.
I got a couple pairs of those.
Yeah, so, you know, it's like, but the funny thing was, I'm not gonna sell these. I just love these because of the way it's made, like the materials used, you know, the details that went into it, and you know, what have you. Like, I'll just tear this up.
Undead stocking, but not
wearing them. not really. I haven't worn them.
Yeah,
but like, you know, if you can see like the leather, the way it's done, like, you know, super premium. The debris, the laces.
Yeah,
these actually come off, like they're screwed on.
Wow. Yep.
Little special tag.
Those are
And then the
underrated, man.
super premium insoles, like
Wow.
yeah. But I can't find these in retail sites. I was just curious to see how much they're going for, and all the high bees that I know, never heard of them. I was like,
yeah,
and a lot of them are like Supreme heads, you know. I'm like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, like if you look up, you know, StockX or whatever, they will show you the recent like Supreme Air Force One, the one with the, you know, the Supreme logo on the side.
Yeah.
You can't find these, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, more, you know, it's you have a piece of history basically in your closet.
Yeah, like when they came out, like I knew I wanted them just because I just saw the construction and I was like, yo, these are cool. Yeah, and as far as I'm concerned, Supreme collabs from 2007 and before, awesome. After, garbage. Just to me, personal opinion, pure fucking garbage.
Yeah,
I don't care for any of it.
Yeah, and you know, I think me. I mean, I'm not a Supreme collector whatsoever.
Neither am I.
I've noticed too, like, you know, it's oversaturated. You know, my opinion, like so many collabs and.
I mean, I can't hate on them. You know what I mean? Like, if I was Supreme, dude, that's a cash cow. Like, if anybody just wants to buy anything that I put out with, and all I have to do is slap a label on it, I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, why not? Why do I have to go put in so much effort for something, and then, you know, when I can just easily, like, you know, just slap a sticker on a brick and charge you $25 for it.
Yeah.
or $250 for it, whatever it costs, like, you know, that sort of nonsense, and you still buy it. Like,
all good.
I'll ride that train. You know, as a business owner, I would absolutely ride that train.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yep.
You know.
Why not? Yeah, that's where the cash cow is. So.
Exactly. But like, you know, the original like Supreme Dunks, like those are awesome. Like when I first saw them back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, those are priceless, man. I mean, premium leather and the quality and the craftsmanship.
Exactly.
That. So
exactly.
Hey, like I said, that you got a piece of history, basically.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see how much they are. Not like I'm gonna sell them anyway. I'm gonna hold on to these to whatever.
Yeah.
But like, and it was completely unintentional that I've never worn them, because I've always owned a pair of white on whites. So it's like, you know, should I trash these special like 25th anniversary ones, or wear a pair of like, you know, regular white on whites that are $80 that I can easily replace?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
So, but then now it's like, I'm never gonna wear these. Like these are just gonna be like, you know, kept.
Yeah, and you know, it's a piece of history that, you know, you can always like tell people, hey, like I own something that not many people appreciate, and now I it's not even can't even find it anywhere. You know,
it's like, or at least like it's not listed.
Yep,
is what I'd say. There might be more people that have them. Man, it'd be nice if I'm the only person that still hasn't, like, you know, dead stock or whatever.
I'm
but
sure.
So it'd be nice, but you know, I doubt it. But
All right. So rolling through the questions, Varian. So we casually met through sneaker history, right? So that's, you know, it's a great sneaker Discord group that we're a part of. So what makes that Discord community fun?
Shout out to Nick Engvall, man, aka the legendary Nick Engvall, the man behind sneaker history. I honestly wish like I knew, or we met earlier. Nick, actually, he kind of said that, you know, there's a good possibility we might have crossed paths back then, because, you know, he when I was working at Nike Town back in like 2001, he would frequent Nike Town all the time, so we might have seen each other or whatever, but, you know, it's not like interacting outside of a employee consumer interaction type situation, right? So for me, I'm pretty reserved. I like flying under the radar. You know, for most of my life as a sneaker enthusiast, I'm usually alone in that situation. Like growing up, like a lot of my friends were not as into sneakers as I was. I was the kid that would go into stores and just check shoes out, like, you know, look at them, examine them, because I couldn't afford them. So I would always go into sneaker stores and just look at them. And back then, back in the day, you know, they would have all the tech laid out on the displays, you know, so I would read those and just like just play with the tchotchkes and stuff, you know what I mean? Like my first job was at a like a Foot Locker, you know, type situation where, and because I wanted to have access to the catalog so I could read it. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm that nerd.
Yeah.
I'm that guy, you know, and that's how I learned about, you know, sneakers and my sneaker knowledge and my, you know, sneaker knowledge with Nike. But it was all through catalogs and you know, just Sports Illustrated and, you know, and that sort of thing. That this was way before the internet, right? Like before Nike Talk, you know, a buddy of mine and I, like neighborhood friend, we basically like shared an SI account, and that's how, like, you know, I got glimpses of MJ wearing the 14 in game, or, you know, and back in the day, the Jordan 11s were only mids, and the lows were the IEs. Those were the original lows. They never had a patent leather low until 2001. Those are the first time those were ever released, except MJ. He had those. He was the only ones that had those, like, you know, black and reds in lows, but he wore them in game. But, you know, because, you know, at a distance, like, you couldn't tell, but he was the only one with those. Like, he was the only one with those in the 13 as well. Like the Jordan 13s were all black with the He Got Game tooling colorway. Like, those were never released. Like, I would love those to be released, but you know, it'd be cool if Nike actually released them at some point. But yeah, that's how I would learn about sneakers and whatnot. So, but a lot of my friends weren't like that, or on the same level of a nerd as I was. So I would keep myself, like, I would do my own thing and you know, surf the net or whatever. And that's how I discovered Nike Talk also. So even when I moved out to the Bay, I was still, you know, the same way, right? Like, even though I was working at Nike Town and, you know, everybody there was in the sneakers, so I could talk with them, my coworkers. But I was never big into like, you know, like, you know, this online community stuff. I would go on Nike Talk and just like check out the threads and see what's, you know, any leaks or whatever, and, you know, any discussions. I'd chime in occasionally or whatever, but I was never big on that until maybe, I want to say, less than 10 years ago. You know, that's when, you know, I would actually go on YouTube, watch, you know, Nightwing, like, you know, Chris's videos on Wear Testers, actually make comments. And then that's when I've only, you know, when I got to know Nick, you know, we started chatting and stuff like that. And then so when he launched the Sneaker History Discord, you know, I joined and then met all these other people that kind of look at sneakers and sneaker culture the way I do, rather than, you know, the whole hypebeast thing. Like, I'm more OG and kind of low key with it. Like, I like what I like, whether it's a GR, whether it's, you know, limited, whether it's a, you know, a tier 0 collab or whatever the case may be. Like, you know, like, I just like what I like. And so, like, you know, having this community that kind of has that same sort of mindset is kind of nice, you know. And that, you know, that's when I met you as well. You know, I think so I'm not on the Discord like as often as most people, because I don't, like, I'm usually out and about and I have my Discord on my phone or my iPad, not on my laptop. So, like, you know, so I think we first met on one of the Zoom calls that they had, right? Yeah, you hopped on, you were showing us like some of the Air Force Ones you have in your collection. Dude, you have some crazy ass Air Force Ones in your collection, man. Like, hats off to you.
Thanks,
like a
man.
whole bunch of like lasers and stuff. I'm like, dude, these are sick.
Yeah, like I said, man, they're unappreciated.
Dude, they were so clean, dude. Like, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's kind of how we met. And, you know, like, shout out to Nick for like actually like putting together this community with this type of people that actually just appreciate sneakers, just appreciate it, and not so much like from a monetary standpoint where it's like, oh, this is a hot new shit, so I'm into this right now, or I'm buying this just to flip it. Like, that's not how I am. So it's like, I'm not gonna knock you if that's what you are, but like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just not interested in that type of shit. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's like I said, it's a like you were saying, it's everybody has a common interest, which is like passion and love for sneakers, and the community itself. They're very open, and they're very open in the fact that no matter what what where your background is, all forms of life, where you came from, where have
Right.
you been, there's none of that. It's everybody just cohesive.
Right.
Saturday mornings, on the sneaker drop, you see these people. Hey, you need like someone to, you need someone to raffle, for the need a draw for the sneakers. I got you. No, you know what I
And
mean?
that's
It's
the cool part,
crazy.
right? Like, nobody's charging a premium for
Nope.
that kind of help too. It's
Nope.
like, yo, like, if I hit, and you
Yeah.
just pay me whatever it costs.
Yeah,
Like,
it's pay the shipping. That's it.
Exactly.
It's insane. I mean, I was like, damn, man, like this is like crazy. This is like a community. You know what I mean? It is really a sneaker community. And shout out to Greg. Like Greg is like one
Oh,
of
the people's
man.
champ.
He's the people's champ, man. He's
The
the
people's champ.
he's the Air Command High Force man. You know what I mean? The trivia man, and the guy
Oh
that
man.
always starts the conversation. So like, props to him. Like when I first came on, like he welcomed me with open arms, didn't make things awkward. Hey, like what do you, thanks for
Right.
putting in. Like we have like a trivia night and we got raffles and stuff. We'd like for you to join in whenever you can. You know what I mean? Like for me that don't
Yep.
know anyone, he made it like heartfelt. All right, that's cool, man. I'm gonna just join in for a couple minutes. Even I'm not participating, just to chime in. It made
Right.
me
Right.
feel like I'm part of it. So shout out to Greg and like Nick and Rohit and like
The whole crew, like Robbie and
Robbie's a wild dude, man. With it, like it's funny. Like when I follow him on Instagram, like he'll like show pictures of his busted ankle and then his cats and then what he picked up, he can't even wear them yet. Like it's funny.
Right.
I just watched all this is sneaker history like IG live,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, and he already knows the questions that they're gonna answer him. He just like starts laughing, like, yeah, I already know what you guys are gonna ask me, that kind of thing.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So,
Mike too, man, and like I first got to know Mike, Rohit, and Robbie through the podcast. So I didn't know them before that. Like I only knew Nick. We met up when we started chatting. We met up in San Francisco. Had some dinner, shared conversation over boba.
nice.
And then I helped him out with the sneaker history booth at DesignerCon in 2019.
Oh, okay.
So like, so he was going to DesignerCon in 2019. I drove down, helped him out with it, helped him set it up. I was MC on the mic, so I was just pulling people in. We were doing raffles. We had like a whole like a little mini basketball rim. So we made a game out of it where people shot 3 in a row. They got a free T-shirt, that sort of thing. So I was on the mic, just like talking shit, just pulling people in and whatever. Like it was fun. It was cool, man. That's when I first actually got to know Nick, and we both got to know each other. And from then on, like that friendship and relationship just kind of developed from there.
That's dope.
So yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, like for people that's listening here right now, I mean, they're you have to pay for a Discord, right? Just for any other Discord. It's worth it. There's different tiers,
Right.
that you can use. And it's I think there's like a trial period too. So if you can try it out for like 30 days, if you like it, then you can start doing your thing. If not,
Right.
so this is just a shameless plug. This is a plug for you guys. No free. This is free advertisement for you guys. Free game. So shout out to Sneaker History if they're listening to this pod. And
shout out to the Sneaker History podcast, and everybody in it.
Yep. Shout out to like Dalton and Chris Shell and Todd and
The future
Keith.
CEO of Nike, Travis.
Yeah, Travis. You know, the homie. Everybody, man. Everybody.
Yep.
Barry too. You know what I'm saying? Barry. We had him on, and Mario. Mario's a cool dude. So definitely check them out.
Yeah. Yeah. The come up king, Barry.
Come up, King, man. All right. So next question. This is switching to your personal hobby. So you also own a hot sauce company called KickswithVee Hot. So explain how that happened, and basically like how did that all happen for you?
So COVID happened. That's what happened. Give you a little context. I've been making hot sauce for myself for about 7 years to the date. I love hot sauce. I love spicy food. I cook spicy, so I would go through hot sauce like it's water. You know what I mean? Like so for a while I was buying. So there was a specific brand of hot sauce and a specific type that they had that I really liked. And I couldn't find it like a Target or Walmart or whatever, right? Like they had the other versions like of it, but not the one I wanted. And so I would get them on Amazon, and this seller would have like a 4-pack or 6-pack or whatever, and I would buy packs through Amazon, like 2 4-packs at a time or whatever, and I would pour it into a squeeze bottle. I would throw one in my backpack. I'd leave one in the car. That's what so I have hot sauce on me at all times, like, period. But I was going through it like nothing. So I would re-up every like couple of weeks or a month every time. It was getting just really expensive. So I was like, you know what? I need to learn how to make hot sauce so I can just cut costs. So when I started, I found a simple recipe, kind of, did it, tried it out, liked it, but I wasn't sure, like, it wasn't necessarily like how it was with whatever I got. It was a little different, right? But, like my friends were telling me like, yo, this is actually really good. So, I kept making it, kept tweaking it, I had a few fortunate and happy accidents that happened that taught me certain things that basically contributed to what my hot sauce is today. So over the 7 years, like my friends would tell me like, hey man, you should totally like sell this at farmers markets. It's really good. You probably could make some money out of it. I thought about it, but it's like I didn't have the time for what I was doing for work at the time. I was always out the house. I was either like touring nationally, like going to different states and different towns, or, I'm just working like 24/7, right? Look, I live in the Bay Area, man. You got to grind to like make, to make it work because it's expensive out here, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Like I love it here. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, you got to pay the price, essentially, right?
Right.
So COVID happened. Well, prior to COVID, like I was running a exponential marketing campaign for this one company, and I had all these other gigs lined up for the rest of the year. I was transitioning to being like a event producer. So I had Coachella lined up. I had like all these other events lined up, and then when COVID hit, all of that went away. All my jobs, all my gigs, boom, net zero.
Wow.
So I'm sitting at home and I'm like, what am I going to do, man? So I was like, okay, well, I took on some online classes, started learning some stuff, took a step back, kind of reevaluated my life type situation. And then it just hit me. I was like, yo, you know what? It'd be a good time to try that whole hot sauce thing and see if it, selling it, see if it worked. So I made like, a big enough batch to sell, but not big enough where it'd be like, oh man, if it didn't take off, I have like this much, just left over, right? So like, it'd be small enough where it's like, well, I could still use for myself. It's no problem if it didn't take off. So thought about it, kind of tweaked with the idea, came up with a label design. And I'm like, okay, well, I have all this. I'm like, screw it, let's just try it. The one thing about me is like I have a tendency to overthink things. It's been a huge problem for me. My best friend would always like give me a hard time for it. Like, you know, like I always overthink things. This was the first thing in a long time that I didn't overthink. Like I was just like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just do this. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. Like there was not a lot of money invested into it when I started it. So it's like, okay, well, you know, if it doesn't work, then just count it as a loss. Keep it moving, right?
Yeah.
Luckily for me, thanks to a lot of people from the sneaker history community, from the wear testers community, to start off, like those two communities were a huge starting off point for me. Like they were so super supportive when I launched the brand and my line of hot sauces. Like they completely like supported it. Like, you know, they bought it, you know, like shout outs to you for that too. Like, you know, people buying it for their friends, for, you know, like Christmas presents and stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, like for me personally, like it's validating to see that happen. But in the back of my mind, I'm still always worried of like, hey, will people like it or whatever? Because taste is a very subjective thing, right? Be it clothes, be it sneakers, be it, you know, but especially for food, right? My taste buds are different from yours. So I always like to tell my friends, like, look, like I pride myself on my taste. So if I say it's good, I can guarantee you like 99.9% you would agree with me. But again, it's subjective. So there's always that variance, you know, that's out there that, you know, maybe you go like, yeah, no, it's not doing it for me. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's not that you're wrong or anything. Like you're not wrong. That's your taste. Like, you know, you can't please everybody, right? Yep. So that's always in the back of my mind. So when I see people tell me like, yo, this is really good, man, like this is awesome, like kudos, whatever, like it makes me feel good. It's validating, but not in a sense where it's like just vapid. You know what I mean? It's not surface level. Like it really makes me feel good. It calms nerves, actually.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, good. Like people like the product. So it basically gave me the motivation to just keep doing it. Come October, not October, but August 15th, it'd be officially 1 year. So I was like, I'm going on 1 year now. I was like, well, I just thought about this. I was like, wow, be celebrating my first anniversary. That's kind of crazy.
I'm a dab one next month. For you, man.
Thank you, man. I honestly appreciate the support. Like, you know, and I'm glad that you like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so I cook for my taste. Like I cook for me. You know what I mean? So when I make my hot sauce, like I know what I want out of a hot sauce. So I make it that way. My hot sauce is different from others because so I learned a lot of things while I was, you know, making the hot sauce for retail. You know what I mean? Like, because I have to source raw materials and you know to make these things. And through learning through that, I learned a bunch of different things where like, oh, you know, like there is a company, you know, like a lot of the bigger brands or, you know, brands that you see on first week fees with Hot Ones or whatever, like they source their products through. And, you know, like, and then I learned the differences between fresh peppers and dried peppers, you know, and what the differences are when you make a sauce with it and stuff like that. So my hot sauces are fermented. Right. It takes me 2.5 months to make one batch.
Wow.
Like it's a lot of time. It's a lot of care. It's a lot of just like watching and just making sure that the fermentation is going right. Because like to date, I think I've thrown out 2 to 3 batches where
That's crazy.
It just didn't go right. And, you know, it's like, it's bad. You know, you got to throw it out. That's a lot of time and effort that it's gone to waste, you know what I mean? So like when I say my hot sauce is a small batch, they are literally small batch, and a lot of time and care goes into it. I make them from fresh peppers, and what I learned too while making these, making the label and everything like that. I learned that usually when you look at a label, the first ingredient is usually the main ingredient. And if you look at my label, the first ingredient is the peppers.
I see it. Ingredients: fresh habanero peppers, distilled vinegar, black pepper, kosher salt, garlic powder, onion powder, lime,
So
honey.
yeah, usually the way the label reads, it's main ingredient first, and the main ingredient is usually the ingredient that is the highest percentage, right? And then it just goes down from there.
Mm-hmm.
So each batch of hot sauce that I make uses about 2 pounds of fresh peppers.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, so like you're getting, like if it's a habanero hot sauce, you're getting habaneros. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I throw in like this recipe and whatever, and I throw in one habanero in there. It's like, okay, it's a habanero hot sauce. There are sauces like that.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it. You know, it's a certain flavor profile that they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
But when I say my sauce is a habanero sauce, it's because it's made with habaneros. You know, if I come, I have plans to come up with a Carolina Reaper one, but it's, that it's going to have Carolina Reaper. It's not just one pepper. It's going to have its main ingredient is Carolina Reapers. You know, that sort of thing. So like that's basically like, what really like sets my sauces apart from people. It's the reason why it's like I regard it as a premium hot sauce. Like again, it takes 2.5 months to make one batch. It's a lot of time that goes into it, a lot of care that goes into it as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me as a consumer, Varian, like, it's actually very good because, like I was saying, before we recorded, one comparison is Tabasco, right? Even when you shake it, it tastes too much vinegar. Like you can't even taste the hotness. It's like it's already too sour for me already for my palate.
Right.
All right, so where's the heat? You know what I mean? Now, like I'm dabbing more to get at least a small bit of spiciness. Yours, the couple dabs, it's already in a mixture with like foods. I feel the heat. Like it's not the overbearing. Like, oh damn! Like I can't feel my tongue kind of like heat. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a very exquisite like. It's good with like a lot of foods. To be honest, like eggs. I had it with eggs.
It's funny that you mentioned that. So when I first started making hot sauce for myself, right? Like I wanted to make something that I could use for anything and everything because, I would be using it for anything and everything. So that basically is how this is the flagship habanero. This started everything for me. Like this is the original sauce that I started making. This pairs perfectly with, I want to say everything, but I can't, right? Like, so I'll say almost every, it's like one size fits most type situation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like if you're on the go, you want to, you want hot sauce throw in your backpack, this is the one that you'd get to like just, it's like a Swiss Army knife. You know what I mean? Like it'll just like pair with almost everything and anything, and it's good to go. And it blends well with the flavors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It doesn't overpower the flavor of the food, so you can still taste the food that you like, but with an enhanced flavoring and heat to it. So that's how I designed the hot sauce to be. It's to mingle and to play with the food nicely rather than overpower. It's like, so I hate ketchup. As a kid, I hated ketchup. Even now, I hate ketchup. You won't find ketchup in my household, right? Because number one, I'm not 4 years old. Number two, I have taste. But what ketchup does is it's all sugar, right? So when you apply ketchup to something, it basically covers everything. You can't taste
the food. You can't taste
the food. You're tasting the ketchup, and that's it. You know what I mean? That's not what my hot sauce does. So I wanted to play with the food. I wanted to mix with the food well, so that you have that experience. So you have the experience with the food that you want to eat, that you enjoy, that you're looking forward to, but you still have that kick and that additional like heat that comes with it.
That's dope. So like jumping into the next question with your hot sauce, I know you have your Swiss Army knife, you have your habanero, and on your website you also have, was it like the coffee habanero?
Yep, it's a brand new one that I just launched, the coffee habanero. It's so I had this for like a whole almost a year now, but I only launched this week.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's like Monday is when I officially like launched it for everybody. Like you can get it on the site. I had the idea of making a coffee habanero sauce last year, and through tweaking it and learning certain things, and kind of improving, like just adding and whatever, and then making sure the R&D and everything like that, like is right. And then after that, making test batches where I would just take like small little bottles with me and testing it out with different foods to see what it would pair with, because this is a very different sauce. It's very unique. Like it's actually got coffee in it. I actually use coffee in the sauce, and also to kind of just like let people know, I source most of my raw materials locally within my community in Oakland. So the coffee is sourced from a local roaster. The mangoes and the pineapples that I have for my mango habanero hot sauce and my pineapple habanero hot sauce, it's from a local Mexican market that's in my neighborhood. That sort of thing. Like it's how I support my local business and how I give back to my community as well.
That's awesome, man. So what flavors do you have, Varian?
So right now I have the flagship habanero, which is this. I have the coffee, which is the brand new one. Oh, and so you have the label. It tells you what it is.
Wow, that's dope.
And I have this little like coloring right here. So the coffee is gray. It's intentionally, so this is the mango, right? So this is a sauce that I haven't launched yet, but no, I'll also show it to you. This is the Chipotle
Exclusive.
Ginger. That's going to be coming out soon.
What flavor is that?
Chipotle Ginger.
What?
And this is the pineapple. So you see, like each bottle and label has like a distinct color to it. If you look at the label, it's designed like a sneaker label as well.
That one has
like,
color.
Yeah, and then the color, it's kind of like an homage to like sneakers as well, like and it's made very ambiguous. So depending on the sneakerhead, you can associate it with maybe for example, like let's go with the coffee, because it's great. You can go with shadows, essentially, like a little gray and black shadow ones if you want, maybe Kobe Gringes, and the interpretation's open to anybody and everybody. Like you can associate whatever shoes that you like, if it matches the color or whatever, that. So I have like little homages to sneaker culture because, it's what I love, so that's why I designed the label the way it is also.
It's crazy. Like, and I'm sure you probably get this a lot. Your labels are like the Jordan retro boxes. Am I right?
Yeah, it's intentional.
Okay.
It's very intentional.
I knew it.
It's very intentional. I look at my I look at my boxes and I'm like, I wanted to make sure that it kind of pays an homage to it. Like it's very intentional. Very, very intentional. It's done that way.
It is.
And then I just launched brand new habanero infused hot honey.
What?
Yep.
Wow. So what do you put with that, Varian? Like, what's your ideal
Anything
condiment?
that you use honey for, you know. So
So you're telling me you can put that into
so
tea?
yeah, and you have a little like heat to it too, or your coffee,
Wow.
or you know, you want to eat it with your fried chicken and biscuits. You know, you put that on there, or beignets, or you know, waffles, your pancakes, whatever. Like you know what I mean? Like
That's dope.
the honey is sourced locally from a local like farm as well. So it's actually like local honey, but it's local to Oakland.
Yeah.
So, but it's infused with habanero.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So
That's
like
awesome.
I always knew I wanted to do that as well. So like you know finally like got a chance to kind of make that happen, and I just launched that. I'm actually not launched. So I just realized something. That's an exclusive too. So I'm launching this next week.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, man. My days are all running like
No,
concurrent.
it's
Like
cool.
I've been
It's
so
cool.
busy, like I
Yeah.
can't tell if it's Monday or if it's Friday anymore.
No, it's all
But
right.
yeah, I am launching this next week, officially.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how does it feel for you? I mean, I know it's gratifying for you, like you hear like positive and of course constructive, feedback. So how does it feel for you that, 1 year, it'll be 1 year from today, soon or next month, that you're actually having this as a business, like from a hobby to a business. How did that, does that just, blow your mind?
It's surreal.
Yeah.
I thank everybody that's supported you know, the brand, me. Without your support, I wouldn't be going on 1 year now. You know what I mean? I honestly didn't expect it to go 1 year. I figured like, okay, you know, we'll have like these like initial sales or whatever, and it'll just die off, right? And that's it. And you know, we'll just call, you know, just call it quits, call it a loss, and just like move on. But
Wow.
the fact that you know, come August 15th, it'll be officially 1 year to the date of the official launch is it's surreal. It's very surreal, and you know, so I just want to thank everybody for their support, and you know, anybody else that's you know now discovering the brand, and you know, or you know, would make a purchase or whatever, and just basically like anybody and everybody that's supported the brand. I thank you for it.
That's dope. So one last question with this, with your hot sauce. Do you plan on going like, global? I mean, global, but yeah, global and distributing like from a bigger, standpoint?
So I mean, like I'm not gonna say no if somebody comes in and goes like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna pour money into your company and brand, and so we can just kind of blow it up and sell it like globally. Not gonna say no. That would mean financial security for myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whatever. But as of right now, like I mean, if I can grow it to that point, great. I would love to be able to ship my hot sauces internationally. The reason why I don't do it right now is because shipping's expensive,
Yep.
and I can't justify somebody paying so much for shipping for an $18 bottle of hot sauce, which you know would probably, you know, I kind of fooled around with certain like you know addresses and locations or whatever. You know, like I plugged in like an Australian address, and you know, one bottle of hot sauce shipped to Australia would be like $96. Like that's insane. I'm not gonna ask somebody to do that.
Yeah.
That's just stupid. It
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, but if a hot sauce store in Australia were to reach out and be like, "Hey, man, I'd love to carry your product in my store, and we could work out like a you know wholesale situation." Sure, why not? I'm not gonna say no to that. So you know, we'll see. But as of right now, it's all online. You can get it, you know, on my website, kickswithvhots.com, or if you have an Instagram account, just go to kickswithvhots, and you can actually access the store through Instagram as well. you know, and you can just buy it on there. But it's right now it's domestic in the US.
Definitely, it's one of my, not because you're here. I'm talking to you, but it's my favorite.
It's okay, man. The $5 the $5 check is in the mail. It's all good.
Yeah, it's actually, like I said, the proof is in the content. You know what I mean? Like it was filled here, right?
Yeah.
So you see how much hot sauce I consume. I'm a hot sauce guy, so
I
definitely
appreciate it, man. Thank you.
definitely as a Jordan retro homage. You know, with the label, the execution is great. The flavor is great. The flavor, I mean, like I said, if you're a hot sauce guy, um, definitely check this out because it comes from the heart. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's all, you know, it's all from V, man. Like he fermented 2 months of this stuff, and 2 months of your time is valuable. Sometimes, like you were
Yeah.
saying, like you throw away a batch took you 2 months to make. That's what, I don't know how many
That's
batches
time
you've
and
thrown.
money.
That's time and
That's
money,
time.
right?
I've thrown about 3 batches out.
Wow. So that's money out of your pocket, right? That either you
Exactly.
try to break even or just, you know what, just keep it rolling. You know, I'll just keep it going as long as people like my
Right.
stuff. So I mean, that's just part of your business. Like you'll just continue, you know, you'll have, like you said, constructive, positive feedback. So definitely, man, like this is a great condiment. I liked it a lot.
So
And
to add on to it, like, so the coffee one, I told you I had this for about a year, and it took a lot of tweaking and R&D, and 8 months of it was all testing. Well, yeah, about 6 to 8 months of it was all testing. I wanted to make sure that I'm not that guy that goes like, oh yeah, my hot sauce goes great with everything and anything, and then, you know, you fucking try the coffee one with something that doesn't pair well, and you're like, oh man, nah, this is not right. You know what I mean? Like, so I would say that with the regular habanero, this goes with anything and everything. It'll make it, you know, worth your while. This one is a little different. It's a bolder flavor. There's a lot of layers to it, but this pairs well with like red meats, with barbecue. I just tried it with some gumbo yesterday, and it worked perfectly.
wow.
You know, so it's unique. Like anything that's smoky, or and you know, like say barbecue, or you know, duck, venison, steak, you know, even like, you know, smoked like pulled pork or whatever, it goes well with that too. So
Wow.
it's a little different, and I would rather be transparent and help educate my consumers with that, so that they would have the best experience possible, rather than go like, oh yeah, hot sauce goes great with anything and everything, like, you know, just,
Yeah.
you know, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm planning to so if you go on the Instagram account, you know, I have a bunch of like Instagram reels done with my hot sauces. I try to educate the consumer through that, where, you know, it goes like, hey, you can use my hot sauces, especially the habanero ones, with a bunch of different things, and not just fried chicken or tacos or whatever. You know, the habanero ones, I've done it with pho, I've done it with ramen, I've done it with a whole bunch of different things that you wouldn't think of, and it goes great with. And I would shoot a video and post it on there just to show, you know, like, hey, this is a visual illustration of what you can use my hot sauce with and for, and enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Like, keep up the great work, V. You know, it's just gonna
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
It's gonna get better here. So, man, love it a lot. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. So
Thank you.
Can I say?
Thank you. Like I said, man, appreciate the support.
Yeah.
Like, and to be completely transparent, he actually bought that bottle.
I bought this bottle. You know,
he paid with his own money. He bought that bottle. It wasn't a seed.
I didn't even ask for a shipping confirmation. I already saw it in my app already. You know, I was like, oh, it's shipped. And then, you know, V was cool enough because he said, oh, you know, I'm actually, because you messaged me too, like, hey, like, I'm still running behind on my batches, so if you can just wait.
Yeah.
For
So like,
days.
so I for me personally, like, I like to get it out as fast as I can.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this is a small batch. It's all me.
Yep.
I make it. I created sauce. I created the labels. I make the sauce, I label the bottles, I bottle the bottles, I
Yeah.
pack it up, I ship it, I do everything.
Yeah.
So sometimes, like, if I run out of a batch, I have to make a new batch, or at least, yeah, that sort of thing. So that might be a little delay time, but it's not going to be more than a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, like, I like to try and keep my turnaround as fast as possible, because I know, like, in today's age with, like, Amazon, with Prime, the turnaround, people are accustomed to that, right? As am I. I'm spoiled by it, right?
We all
Like,
are.
you order something, boom, next day or 2 days later,
Mhm.
it's there, that sort of thing. So I try to be good with getting your order to you as fast as possible, because you've paid your good earned money with it, and you paid for the shipping as well. So, like, I want to make sure that you get it as soon as possible.
That's dope, man. Well, V, man, it's been a great conversation with you, bro. Where can they find
Thank
you on Instagram? Especially with your business, so we can plug you in.
So the hot sauce Instagram is KickswithVee Hots. You can go on there. From there, you can probably go to my sneaker account called KickswithVee. But yeah, it's more importantly, just go to the hot sauce account. Honestly, outside of that, like, same with Twitter. It's my name, Varian David. I have a Twitter account for the KickswithVee Hots, but I don't really use that all that much. It's more on Instagram than anything else. I'm trying to balance that out a little bit more, but I'm definitely more active on Instagram.
That's dope, man. Well, would love to kick it with you. Hopefully when the world is much more safer for everybody, and it's much more normal.
Yeah,
I'm,
man.
I'm sure it's sooner than later.
Right,
Everybody
right, right.
will just have a big powwow and just start
Yeah, that'd be
dabbing
cool.
start dabbing in your hot sauce in the parking lot or whatever restaurant we go to. I said I don't need no hot sauce, man. I got my own. You know, so I got like. Yeah, man. Much props to you. Continued success to your hot sauce and everything that you do. With your future, with your future endeavors.
I appreciate it, man.
All right, guys. So this is Dan on in the RJ Machismo podcast, episode 37. Have a good night, guys.
Peace. Thanks for having me.